So we're going to talk a little bit about rods and reels that you're going to need for the Bahamas. Again, like this, we're going to try to simplify it as much as we can here so you don't end up lugging around 20 different rods. Generally, whenever I fly to the Bahamas, I take an 8 as my primary for bonefish, a 9 for my permit, and then an 11 weight for the tarpon opportunities. And generally for that one, I'm only going to take that if I know that tarpon are actually going to be around. For the most part, I make sure to have my primary 8 weight, and then I'd bring a backup 8 weight too, just in case something does happen. If you break a rod tip, something of that nature, you want to make sure that you are well taken care of, as most of these lodges down there do not provide gear. The main thing that you're going to want to have is make sure that you have a fast action tip flex rod that's going to be a little bit quicker to be able to punch through the wind. It's, depending on what you are really going with, the Orvis rod, Sage rod, Scott, doesn't really matter as long as you're getting that tip flex. Everyone is going to have their own preference, and I don't want to tell anyone which brand that they should be using. I myself tend to take an Orvis or one of the Scott rods because I do like a faster action rod. Again, same with the reels. As long as you have a really quality drag system, it's going to be the most important part. So the variety of either having, a Nautilus, a hatch, it doesn't really matter to what you want. It just matters for preference. Make sure you have a quality large arbor and a really, really quality drag system, as these fish that you are going to land are going to peel off a ton of drag right off the bat. When I'm traveling, I would tend to take a rod case like this where I can put multiple rods in. I do still leave them in their rod tubes, and I can generally fit 3 or 4 in travel bags that, provide excellent storage for whenever you're going through the airport. But also I like to keep the main tubes in here for whenever you're going from boat to boat. So it really keeps that protection on your rods and make sure that you get the maximum coverage for whenever you are traveling to protect your investment here. So again, just to kind of recap, your primary rod is going to be an 8 weight. Again, I travel with a 9 weight too for permit, but also if I'm traveling and I know that the wind is going to be picking up, it's sometimes nice to just use that 9 weight to have it loaded up to be a little bit more deadly against the wind whenever you're standing on the bow of a boat. Again, if I'm going during tarpon season, I'm going to make sure I have an 11 weight. A 12 weight's not necessary. If you only have a 12 weight, by all means, utilize that. You don't have to buy an 11, but it is something that I prefer an 11 weight for those.